all about the lineage, baby. It's all about the lineage, baby. It's all about the lineage, baby. Yeah. Now what y'all wanna be? FBA, ADOS, free men indigenous. We got shot callers, we got activists, we got politicians, we got lawyers for ya. But don't knock us for being great. Delineate. And now we're singing, hey. It's all about the lineage, baby. Yeah, baby. It's all about the lineage, baby. It's all about the lineage, baby. Oh Lord, it's all about the lineage, baby. Can't nobody take our pride. Can't nobody hold us down, no. We gotta keep on moving. They keep on moving the goalposts. Oh no, no. Broken alliance everywhere. Broken arrows in every spear. Let's be very clear. We ain't letting up. We ain't getting up. It's our throne, we built it. It's our home. Take your shoes off. It's all about the lineage, baby. Oh no, it's all about the lineage, baby. It's all about the lineage, baby. Oh no, it's all about the lineage, baby. Now what y'all wanna be? FBA, ADOS, free men indigenous. We got shot callers, we got activists, we got politicians, we got lawyers for ya. But don't knock us for being great. Delete it. Now we're seeing, hey, yeah. Can't nobody take a pride. Can't nobody hold us down, no. You gotta keep on moving. We keep on moving the goalposts. Oh no. Broken alliance everywhere. Broken arrows in every spear. Let's be very clear. We ain't letting up. We ain't getting up. It's our throne, we built it. It's our home. Take your shoes off. It's all about the lineage, baby. Oh no. It's all about the lineage, baby. Yeah. It's all about the lineage, baby. Oh no. It's all about the lineage, baby.
That's a tether lie. There was no conversion. And just talking about Black history globally, that don't make you Pan-African. I just talked about global Black history. He's been a foundational Black American. And I ain't never talked about leaving the U.S. and moving to Africa and denouncing the U.S. I've never ever said anything remotely close to that. So why do y'all keep, I don't know, what's the purpose of that talking point? Because y'all use it a lot. You know, when y'all use talking points over and over again, that's usually a smokescreen for something else. What's the purpose of that?
No, there's no gimmick. I mean, from your work, that's what it showed, right? I mean, you know, from the Hidden Colors and all of that, like from what you from your background, it seems like you were all inclusive about Pan-Africanism. You see what I'm saying? Like you didn't just focus on one. Nowadays, you have one rhetoric, right? You zoom in on one particular issue, but back in the day, from your upcomings, it was generalized. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's not really Pan-Africanism, though. That's just having respect. That's all it is. That's why I had respect, and I still have respect for Black people globally. Okay. That wasn't a switch. That's not a switch. We're supposed to do that. It's not supposed to be wrapped up in some ideology. Pan-Africanism is an ideology that people can't really define. The thing is, the reality is, we've been the only ones who've been showing global respect. Other people, they're not showing that same respect, especially on Africa. The least Pan-African place on the planet is Africa, right?
Yeah, to some sort.
Let's be
I
real.
could
The
see that.
least Pan-African place on the damn planet is Africa. So something that they're not even upholding on the continent. And then when they get here, they try to shit on us. We're not doing that. No. We don't have. We're not going to be in an abusive relationship where we've had this relationship with people from the diaspora where they can just do anything and say anything, and we're supposed to still roll out the red carpet. Those days are over. It's like we're not going to be in an abusive relationship with people that we've helped and we've been the only ones helping. Now, your family from the Caribbean or Africa? Because I hear an accent.
Yeah, I'm Caribbean. I'm Caribbean on it. I have another question, brother, and I respect your answer. And like I said, I'm be sincere, right? It's
Yeah.
just actually you did great work. My question is with the term American. I heard this from Aboriginal tribe, from the natives, the Indians, and all of that. Like, what's the foundation of that term knowledge itself? Enlighten me.
Yeah.
Is it something that
Yeah,
we
people
came from the
mistake-
blacks, or go ahead?
Yeah, people mistakenly thought it was from Amerigo Vespucci, but many people said his name wasn't Amerigo. His name was Albert. It was something. It was something else. But there was a tribe called the Amerindians down in, I think, Central America. That's a black tribe, and some of them are still down there, by the way.
You're talking about Central America, okay?
Yeah.
Around Panama Canal, those region.
Around Panama, yeah, they're still
Okay,
down there.
gotcha.
The Mosquito tribe. If y'all Google Mosquito tribe, you'll see some of the Aboriginals down there. They still got like dark skin and afros down there and woolly hair like us.
So they're not like the Tainos.
They're a little different. These ones, some of them can be mistaken for Black Americans. Some of them because they got
Really?
nappy hair and brown skin. Yeah, and they're still down there. The Mosquito
what?
tribe. The Mosquito
Mosquito.
tribe. Yeah.
Wow.
And
Okay.
I think there was a mountain called the Emeriskay Mountain, like that. So the term, the variations of Amaru, America, Emeriskay, that was a term that was used by the indigenous people. That's why Tupac Amaru, that was a Native American. That was an Aboriginal. He got his mother named him after that person. So yeah, that name had been around for a minute.
Right. No, okay. I appreciate.
Amaru, America, Emeriskay, that was a term that was used by the indigenous people. That's why Tupac Amaru, that was a Native American. That was an Aboriginal person. That's where he got his mother named him after that person. So yeah, that name had been around for a minute.
Right. No, okay. I appreciate that knowledge, brother. No, you're a public figure, and I could easily get on here and and be and do it for clout, but I'm interested in knowledge. Right.
That's disrespectful to our lineage, though. Why would you disrespect our lineage, calling our lineage a cult?
Oh no, some of them hurt the argument, the point of argument. That's what I'm saying. You can't dispute something and you bring confusion, and it's chaotic. You see what I'm saying?
But you disrespected the lineage by saying a cult.
Yeah, that was Jamaica's a slave.
No.
That's where they used
Hear
to
me
put the
out. Hear me
slaves.
out. Now, are you the founder, Tariq?
Take them in there and rape them.
How the hell am I? I'm not a founder of a lineage.
Yeah, break them down.
Oh, you're not the
make them
founder.
lose
You're not
their
the founder.
identity.
Okay.
Oh,
No,
somebody
but I'm
talking
saying,
Soft and docile.
Hold on.
sir. Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
you know that. You know I'm not the founder of a lineage.
Oh, that's the word on the street, man. Oh, Tariq
No, it's
Nasheed
not.
is the head of. I
No,
promise you,
no.
brother. That's
That only
you got
tethers.
a following out here. You don't even know.
Only lying tethers say that. There's not one foundational Black American who says I'm their leader or their founder. The lying tethers say that.
They say you came up with that. You the face of that. I'm trying to tell you, man. I ain't got to lie. We on the internet. Come on now.
Yeah, you are lying, sir, because you know that what you're saying is not true.
They say you the face of it. They say not.
Your fellow
just-
tethers, sir, who are pathological
No.
liars.
I'm not blaming some of the rhetorics on you, right? Some of the misunderstanding or
Sir.
miseducated.
Sir, your fellow tethers say you guys.
Oh my. Okay, fellow. No,
Fellow tethers. That's tether talk.
And even
Nobody
that
says that.
terminology, tether, you came up with that, right?
No, that was from the movie Us.
But I'm saying you weaponized it, all of that. Like, if you're the face of it,
It
I'm
came
trying
from
to see
movie.
who's the face of it.
Well, you see how the 4Ts. I talked about this before. How the tethers do the 4Ts. He did all 4Ts. Now you know I am not the face of the lineage.
Well, it's
Is
good
the
to know.
lineage.
Okay.
Lineage is the lineage. See, y'all have this thing where you guys try to control the narrative and y'all try to remix and try to tell us who we are. Y'all come in like colonizers, and that don't work. Y'all
No,
not gonna,
example.
no. Y'all not going to remix who we are. Y'all not going to do that. We're not going to be
Omar
colonized
Johnson
by
is
you. Yeah, you can't colonize
Omar,
them.
right?
There was a what?
Pan-Africanism, Omar Johnson, right?
What does that mean?
The face of Pan-Africanism is Omar Johnson, right?
No, it's not. No, it's not.
As we should.
Or should we just jump straight into the
diaspora wars?
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
I hate y'all.
Okay, so Kayla is African American and Caribbean.
Yes.
I'm African. Izzy's African too.
Yes.
So we can talk about this from all sides. We got all three representatives here.
Period. Yes.
So
That's
I don't
so
know if you
cool
want to
that, like,
start
all of
with
us-
Black Americans and
Sure.
Caribbean,
Yeah.
so I can roast Africa.
No, first of all, I don't even be seeing this in real life. Like I don't be seeing that in real life because I don't be around people like that.
Mm-hmm.
And like I've been in the school with Black Americans, Caribbeans, and Africans, and we all cool.
Mhm.
So I'm
Right.
like, where did this
Where's this
start?
coming from?
Because this is not in real life.
Where's
I
it coming
swear it's
from?
always on Twitter. Because we're
That
like,
everybody's like beefing.
Yeah.
yes, I do not see that in real life. In
Social
real
media,
life.
a lot of social media is influencing
Mhm.
this
All
whole
sides,
divide between Black
yeah.
people. So like people come onto, especially Twitter, like Black Twitter, we're never in
They're
agreement
so
with anything.
problematic.
So like they're gonna be arguing, like it'll be a joke at first, and they start dragging it out. So like when people start arguing about food, and then they start talking about, oh, that's why you're this, and that's
Right.
why you're answering,
And
Yeah,
that's
let's
like
why
we
be
you're
never
clear,
needed to be that deep.
None of y'all are better than anyone.
At
So
all,
Black Americans
yeah.
or African Americans aren't better than Caribbeans or Africans. Caribbeans aren't better than African Americans and Africans. Africans aren't better than African Americans or Caribbeans.
At all.
So pipe down.
at all.
Pipe
And the thing
down.
with a lot of Africans, just from what I know, they think they're above or
Yes,
whatever. They have this
that.
whole high and mighty mentality, like, oh,
Yeah.
whatever, we came to America, so all of a sudden, we gotta, because they can idolize white people, so they come
Yeah.
to the white people
Yeah.
land, and they feel like we have to be.
You have to be on that level.
Yeah,
Or they think-
exactly. They start doing too much, and they feel like, oh, they can't be
Associated
doing
with the
Black
other Blacks.
Americans
Yeah,
because
yeah.
oh, we're above, we're here, we just got here, we need to make ourselves look good,
or they'd be like, we got here, we worked
Exactly.
hard.
That's what I
You
was gonna
can't.
touch
not
on.
understanding the historical context of like not understanding history and like the stuff that's happened to Black people in America that's not like not the immigrant Black people obviously, but like oh
It's
we
definitely
worked
different.
hard da. And like if you sit down and you talk to like African people, you'll know like they faced a lot of racism and stuff, and that
For sure.
the way they're coping with it is
It's
trying
not good.
exactly
It's
they're
not the right
trying to
way.
push
Push
away
away
from
blackness.
blackness, and like of course that's a conversation that needs to be had, but you're not better than nobody.
You're not better.
You're not like you know what I mean.
literally.
Trying to separate from Black people doesn't change the fact that you're Black.
You're Black,
They're still
right.
gonna treat
They're
you,
still gonna-
however,
exactly.
trying to
They're
put
all
on
gonna
the
look at us the
English
same.
accent, trying to
Yeah,
be
trying to-
more.
We're all N-words
They're
at the
still
end of the
looking
day.
at you
Like, they don't care.
They don't care. They can still hear the accent. They know you're from Africa.
Yeah.
They don't. You're not getting treated any better because oh you have this
See.
education. You have it doesn't matter.
Right.
It
And the
really
amount-
doesn't.
And if anything, you're just a token. You're a
You're a
puppet.
token.
Exactly. And the amount of Africans that support Trump.
Yes, there's actually a lot of I don't
Like,
know
a lot
why.
of my
Why do
family
immigrants
members.
feel
Black people
like
that-
they have to once they get to America,
that
all of a
support
sudden
Trump.
you're
Yeah.
not white. You're not white.
A lot of my family members
can't.
will be like, "Oh, Black Americans are so ghetto. They're lazy. They don't work hard. We work for this and that and the third."
But I know, and
At
it's
the
like
end of
this
the day,
mentality's gross.
It's so disgusting.
We're all
like
grinding
we're all
and
in
we're
the
all
same.
Black.
Right? Like why are y'all beefing? It's never that deep. Like, but what are y'all even
Because
beefing
that's what
about?
white people want. They want us to be pitted like,
Exactly.
against each other.
They want you to think that things that are like black or stereotyped as black that
Yeah.
are bad. So that's why a lot of Africans like they have a problem with do-rags,
Yeah.
the earrings, baggy clothing, or like anything that they associate with like African Americans. They're like,
It's bad.
no, like you can't have that, you can't do that, you can't behave in that way. Like we have to understand the reason that they're acting like this, they're trying to protect us from like what white America is going to perceive us as. But they're going to see us that way regardless. Like no matter what color I have my braids in. If I have blue braids, they still going to treat me the same way if I have black braids. Like they're trying to be less ghetto did not help me in any way, shape, or form. Whitewashing yourself don't help.
It's a
doing too much don't help. There's nothing to do. So just be yourself.
No, it is so weird that some of those Caribbean people and some Africans that be like on Twitter that be talking about African Americans while using AAVE and still immersing themselves in African American
and
culture
listening to rap music
and listening to rap and hip hop. Like, how you gonna be talking about us but still in our stuff too? Or when you say we can't, when Black Americans or African Americans can't join in Caribbean things or in African things, but y'all can join in our stuff.
African American
right?
Things.
Like what? Like
it makes no sense, right? And so if we're gonna share, we got to share with everybody. We have to share with each other. You can't pick and choose. And what I noticed, right, with people trying to pick and choose what they like from African American culture, what they like from African culture, what they like from Caribbean culture, you can't just be like, oh, yep, I'm gonna have this.
I'm gonna take this part, but I still don't like.
But I'm gonna make fun of them for this, that, and the third, right? So we notice that people want to have certain African things, but then they'll make fun of African people,
exactly.
And then they want to have certain Black American things, but then it's ghetto, it's this and this and that. Do you want to have the do-rags and all of that? Like, you can't have all of that at the same time.
And not like
making fun of the people who started it, created it, influenced it. Like, you can't do that. Like,
or take from African
they're just
culture.
as guilty of that as non-Black people of color. So,
or,
you know, y'all be acting like you're not, like, you know what I mean? Why are you acting like you're better or above?
And you're not.
And you're Black. So.
And I hate those Caribbeans that be jumping on a bandwagon and that be talking about Black American. Y'all don't know where y'all came from either. Y'all literally don't know where. We're literally in the same boat. Literally just different stops.
Yeah, they be. So I'm like, why, if anything, if you were making teams, why are you teaming up with the Africans? Like, you're not. You know what I mean? Like, Africans still have this superiority against. They can
Caribbeans
have it against.
too.
So like, so wherever you're getting this from, that you know you need to side with the Africans because you feel like you're more cultured or whatever it is. No.
Like, it literally makes no sense because y'all don't know where y'all came from either. Because if that's the case, then y'all don't have. Then Caribbean people don't have culture either.
Exactly.
But y'all would
and
be
you know damn well every aspect of the Black diaspora community has their own cultures, practices. Like you can't just respect the ones that are taken directly from African culture, not the new ones that derived from, you know, slavery. You gotta accept all of it.
Exactly.
So stuff that came from slavery, before slavery, all of that is still worth of respect because it's been built from hard work, built from suffering. Like, you guys need to put some respect on soul food, like put some respect on jazz, put some respect on hip hop, rap, all of that, like African music, Afro beats, soca, dancehall, all of it is all good. All of it is all good. And also, we gotta stop.
And we can just enjoy it all.
All together.
Like, why can't we share with each other?
Because we all had to, like, we all struggled. We all had to, like, you know, come up with our own stuff. White people tried to erase it out of us. So when a lot of African countries were colonized, they came there and tried to take our culture from us too. Like, we know what that's like. They stole our artwork. You know, a lot of people, they don't speak their native language. They'll speak the language of the colonizers. So a lot of African countries that speak French, they took stuff from us too. Don't be like, oh, your own culture. You know damn well white people they took stuff from us too. So none of us, we all got affected in different ways. So we're not any less affected by what happened than any of the others. So we all need to be sticking together and enjoying what we have left.
Exactly.
And keep that. That's why I'm saying we don't have to share with y'all.
Yes. So yeah, the Asian thing, family. Listen, India is considered part of Asian. Okay, I mean they're Asian. It's part of Asia. So Indians in America, East Indians in America, they call themselves Asian. So when we say Asian, family, you only think of like Chinese, Japanese, and you don't think of an Indian, like you're doing yourself a disservice. Okay, Indians are Asian. Okay. So let's get to it. Family. So we're going to talk about the need for people to go home and build their homeland. And I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of going home and the pros of going home and building it up and the cons of not going home and building it up. Some of it is common sense to us, but let's check it out. First of all, we're gonna read together. You know, I love when a family can read together with you, so you know your brother ain't making this stuff up. Let's start with the bricks. So I want to remind you guys, the reason why They're actually called African Brits. They want to steal and co-opt black. We're not letting them have that. We're repoing black. They're not black in no sense. Okay, just maybe a black eye. That's about it. But the primary reason that African Brits, because you got to ask yourself, how the hell they know exactly what tribe and what country, what region they come from in Africa? If they're gonna co-opt the word black, like wait a minute, or be part of the diaspora, you're like wait a minute. So anyway, the fact is that uh, they are recent immigrants, or they are the children of recent immigrants. So these African British people, these African Irish people, and Scottish people, these are recent immigrants. Okay, so now look at the time span. Yeah, recent like 1950, 1960s, and even earlier. So the vast difference, the time span, the vast difference in time since the ancestors or their ancestors arrived in respective countries is a major factor. The last ancestors of many foundational Black Americans from Africa were often 200 and 400 years ago. You want to use the term ancestor. While for many African Brits, their last African ancestor might be their parents' or grandparents' family. So their lineage literally from their mother goes back to Africa. Their mother, yes, or themselves. Sometimes they are recent immigrants, but they're a child, a grandchild of a recent immigrant. Let's get back on. You know, you'll hear Revenue and other clowns talk about the Maroons and the British, and they'll talk about the wars, and they'll cap like the Maroons actually beat the British. So you can't really say either or, right? The British can't say they won the first war. The second war, yes, they can. It was decisive. But check this out. It is historically accurate to say that the Maroons were not defeated by the British and vice versa. They fought the British to a stalemate. You know what a stalemate is, Revenue? Okay, as a guy who knows a lot about chess, a stalemate means nobody won. It's a tie. Okay, so they fought the British to a stalemate that forced the British to negotiate peace treaties, granting them freedom and land, while some Maroon groups were later defeated, and deported. I mean, what? Why are you bragging about that? You took an L and got deported out your own homeland to somewhere else. The initial long-term resistance in the 18th century ended in a negotiated settlement because the British could not military subdue the Maroons. And I think part of the first treaty, the Maroons had agreed to capture runaway slaves from the British Empire, right? Or plantations or whatever. Like, but the Maroons were slave catchers. So how do you fight the British, claim you won, but end up being their bloodhounds? You did? Okay. So let's go here now. But you know, you have to know how to talk to AI, ask the right questions. So it says, excellent and thoughtful question. You're connecting migration, education, and national development, which is a very real and complex global dynamic. Let's unpack this carefully and clearly. Okay. So I believe I made these terms popular in these spaces: brain drain, brain gain, brain waste, hyperselectivity, all that type of stuff. I believe, yeah, first time hearing those terms was for me. But let's go over it. The term brain drain, the definition: it is when skilled, educated, or talented people leave their home country. So family, when a lot of these folks come over here with the H-1B visa, these are their skilled, educated, and talented people. And they're bragging about them coming over here and outpacing Native Americans. Oh, no, I'm sorry. When I say Native Americans, I don't mean like red people. I mean like American citizens. Okay. So yes, if your most talented is coming over here and just your most talented, that's called a filtering system. You dig? We don't have a filtering system. Everybody just here. the good, the bad, the ugly, the dumb, the smart, and the medium. Okay. So brain drain is when skilled, educated, or talented people leave their home country to live and work abroad, usually in a more developed country, i.e., America. What is the impact of brain drain, family? The home country loses its best minds. I've been saying this for the longest. This been like solely been my angle, right? So they've been losing their best minds, weakening innovation. That's why they got corrupt governments, easily bought, manipulated, corrupted, and then coups override them, overthrow them, like Ibrahim Traore, like he's part of the weakened minds. Like he's not part of the best minds. The best minds left, and it left people like him behind to just do what they normally do, just take over with guns, not their brains. Okay. So the impact of these skilled people leaving their country: loses best minds, weakening innovations, why they're not innovative at all, healthcare, education, and institutions. Example, many African nations, South Asian countries, or small island states losing doctors, engineers, and scientists to the US, UK, or Europe. And this is why they can't get great and we become greater. All right, so that's brain drain. Brain drain is a negative thing for countries. Brain gain is a positive thing for countries. Now watch this. What is brain gain? That's a positive thing for countries. The definition: when a country attracts highly skilled and educated people from abroad, either immigrants or returning citizens. Impact: the receiving country benefits from innovation, productivity, and diversity because we're getting the best minds of other countries. So we're getting stronger as they get weaker. So they literally are building up our homeland and not their own with their best minds. That's called a sellout. All right. So now examples: the US, Canada, Germany, Australia, major destinations in global talent. All right. So there's also a middle concept. You got brain circulation, when people go abroad, gain education and experience, and later return home to apply that knowledge. This can turn brain drain into brain gain for their home country. Okay, family. Brain circulation is what we're asking them to do, and they act like that's a bad thing. When we say go home, fix your homeland, family, that's just called, the proper terminology is called brain circulation, which is a great thing. It turns brain drain to brain gain, so their country levels up. They get mad at us for telling them to circulate that brain. Go to our country, UK, whoever, take the information, take the skills, go home and build your homeland up. That's what you're supposed to do. Okay, brain circulation. Okay, so before I even go even further with that, let's touch on some real examples of brain drain. Let's look at India first.
Ideas and skills that are no longer required. Now, this apparently leads to reduced economic growth, limited innovative capacities of the nation, and lack of skilled manpower. I have some more figures to show you. According to the US National Center for Biotechnology Information, NCBI, India is the world's biggest exporter of doctors. And this is a disturbing statistic. There is one Indian doctor in the US for every 1,325 Americans.
Okay, so she's complaining about immigration with the E. That is people leaving their homeland to go abroad. Okay, so she's complaining about immigration. All right, and she's telling you the impacts of immigration. Immigration is causing brain drain. And look, she's complaining.
But there's one Indian doctor in India for more than 2,400 Indians.
So look at that. She's saying that we service other people more than we service ourselves. That's crazy. Oh, damn near double. Damn near double. Damn near double. Their Indian doctors service us more than they service Indians. She's complaining. So family, we complain to a degree about immigration. Like we got to get control of immigration here. Right? And they're mad at us. Well, what about your own people, Tethers? Your own people are complaining about immigration. They're complaining. We're saying go home, and your people are saying come home. So we're not even wrong. We're saying go home, and their own is saying come home. So look, she pointed out real stats. Like look how we're helping out other countries become great, and we don't care about our own. This is sad.
India is losing its doctors, engineers, and entrepreneurs to other countries. It's losing much of its skilled human capital to other countries. There is an urgent need to understand what is driving this trend and reverse it. Why is it that rich families with roaring businesses want to acquire investor?
Okay, so you can see that she's clearly complaining about the brain drain her country is experiencing due to immigration. Check this out.
My solution to the India problem, honestly, is what I call ethical capitalism mixed with far spread education.
I read the other day that in the last 5, 6, 7 years, 5 lakh Indians have moved away from this country. They've gone to foreign countries. Quite a few thousands of people are $1 million entrepreneurs like you. So every $1 million entrepreneur who moved away from here has taken away the potential job he would have created. We have to have a reverse brain drain. Every average.
We have to have a reverse brain drain, family. They're complaining. They feel like us. So, family, the Tethers would tell us, we ain't going nowhere. Why you saying go home? You're xenophobic. Wait a minute. Your homeland agrees with us. We're saying go home, and your homeland is saying come home. He just said we need a reverse brain drain. He said our millionaires are going abroad, creating jobs in foreign countries and creating no jobs in our homeland domestic countries. Let's move on. Let's go to Jamaica. All right, Jamaica's brain drain.
US. I actually attended school at the University of Technology. It was actually called the College of Art, Science and Technology back then. So I attended school there, got a diploma in instrumentation, moved to the US, and then went back to school and got a degree in corporate communications. My burning passion, though, was to give back in some way to my island home. And so
that's called brain circulation. You see, that's how it's done. You go abroad, like basically you rob from the rich and you give to the poor. So these Tethers are supposed to be, the real nickname is supposed to be Peter Pans. No, yeah, that Peter Pan. Is that Peter Pan that robbed from the rich, steal from the poor? I forgot my stories. Family, help me out. It ain't Peter Pan, right? Who robbed from the rich and gave from the poor and gave to the poor? Was that Peter Pan? Yeah, help me out. My stories are off. Who did that? What fairy tale character was it? Robin Hood, right? Robin Hood. I got it. It was Robin Hood. Robin Hood, family. I got it. Man, I got it before you guys. Okay, so now these folks' nicknames supposed to be Robin Hood, not Tethers. See, Tethers are sellouts to their country. Okay. They don't want to go back. They're selfish. They don't want to build up. They're supposed to be, their nickname's supposed to be Robin Hoods, where they steal from the rich and give to the poor, which is just a soft analogy of what he just did.
when I found out about Yuja about 10 years ago, and I saw that.
That's it. So that's the point. He got educated in America abroad. I think he got educated in his homeland, left, got educated abroad in America, wherever he went, some first world superpower country. And his desire was to go back and give back to his people. That's a Robin Hood, you dig? So you got tethers, we call them riders, but they're really Robin Hoods. Okay.
Nnamdi is packing his bags. Like many others in Nigeria's commercial capital, Lagos, galloping inflation.
So you see that, family? Nigeria's brain drain. I didn't make that term up. I just made it a little, popular within our circles.
And a plunge in Naira have pummeled the IT worker's salary. He's now taken up a master's degree in the UK. His wife, who is a doctor, and 3 children will join him in January.
I have very deep sentiments about Nigeria. But for posterity...
All right, so that's all. I just want to show you guys real examples of a brain drain. So you heard it from an Indian perspective, you heard it from a Jamaican perspective, and now this is Nigeria. Family, all of these people that's fleeing their homelands and going to these European countries, their homeland is pissed off because none of them are coming back with those resources, with the money, with the education and the skill set to build up their homeland or educate the poor, come back and teach the poor, that information that costs so much money. All of them are abandoned. Wait, what is this right here? I might have one more. Yeah, so it turned out when we say go home, that's not a bad thing. Their grandmothers and grandfathers and mothers and fathers are saying come home. And they made it like they told us that was a bad thing to say go home.
Patient load, the number of doctors in attendance are few, and then you have a growing number of population to attend to. So it's taking a toll, a very big toll on the few doctors who are...
See, is Nigeria losing its doctors? The impact of brain drain on healthcare availability. So they're having the same issue as India. Their doctors are they're bragging about, oh my God, we're outdoing you guys in America. Our hyper selected class is doing better than you guys in America. Yeah, but guess what? Your doctor is servicing me. Your doctor is making sure that I'm better. I'm well. I can go back to work. I can play a sport or whatever. But your doctor ain't there for you though. Your doctor is not there for you when you need that help. Okay, that's the crazy part that doesn't make any sense. All right, so now hope y'all following, fam. Hope y'all following. Yeah, so ICE, their own homeland is like supporting ICE. They want them to come back and build up their homelands, which is a great thing. So that is called brain circulation. Okay, so now why brain drain happens? People often leave developing countries because of... Now, wait till you see, family, wait till you see how I spin this. So I hope the dude IBM is listening. This guy spoke earlier, who he's like an old crazy fool stuck in his ways. But this is how you take information and spin it to a correct narrative. Watch this. None of you can imagine where I'm going with this. And this is all facts. This is all verifiable, searchable, Googleable, all that type stuff. Okay, so we got brain circulation, like that college educated guy. So people often leave developing countries because of limited job opportunities or low pay, political instability or corruption, poor infrastructure or lack of research funding, better quality of life, and safety abroad. For many, going to a first world or superpower country is the only way to use their skills fully. Got it. Watch this. Could they better serve their country by returning? Yes. In theory, people from developing countries can contribute enormously by returning home with the skills, technology, and ideas they gain abroad. They can start businesses or research labs, modernize local industries, train the next generation, right? Train, you gotta be back home to train the next generation. Strengthen institutions and infrastructure. Those are all the things you can do when you go back home. Okay, start businesses or research labs, modernize local industries, train the next generation, strengthen institutions and infrastructure. When you go back home, brain circulation. But in practice, many don't return, often because home governments don't create opportunities for them. Corruption or bureaucracy block progress. Lack of funding or support discourages innovation. So they're not innovative. Like there's no debate there. So the key isn't just individuals choosing to return, it's whether their home countries build systems that make it worth returning. Now, Family, I know how Japan became a global power in 46 years. Okay. So what I said was, why can't they just do what Japan did? Japan showed these gals, how to brain circulate. Okay. They did that for them. They were the model, the blueprint. Watch this. Yes, Japan. Now look, this is I'm talking to ChatGPT, and I'm saying, don't you think Japan is the model example of how the brain circulate? It says yes, Japan is a classic example. And family, anybody who's been here with me, FBA News and Updates within the last year, know that I always use Japan as the example of how to do it correctly, how to build your homeland up correctly. So Japan is a classic example of a nation that studied and adopted the best from powerful countries, then used it to strengthen itself. The Magi Restoration, 1868, 1912. Japan sent students and officials to the U.S. Family, that's called brain drain so far, right? That's called immigration. And they went to Europe to learn modern science, engineering, military systems, and governance. Okay. This is what these tethers were supposed to do. Come here, learn all that stuff. Look at the next bullet point. They brought that knowledge home. Ain't that common sense? When you go to somebody else's house, don't you eventually come back home? They adapted it to Japanese culture and rapidly industrialized. Family, they rapidly industrialized. By the early 1900s, Japan had become a modern power, defeating Russia in 1905. That's called the Japan-Russo War, and later emerging as one of the world's leading economies. You see, that's called being Robin Hood. That's called brain circulation. Take your bum ass home. Take your lazy ass home. Take your hard walking ass home and work hard at home. Make your country a modern power like Japan did. Defeat a European nation. Defeat one of your colonizers, like you always, your neo-colonial. Go ahead and defeat one of those guys like Japan, and emerge as a world-leading economy. So Japan's success wasn't just because individuals studied abroad. It's because the government deliberately invested in using that foreign knowledge to build national strength and self-reliance. Okay. Okay. So I said, give examples of other brain gain or knowledge import success stories. Okay, so you got a South Korea who sent students abroad in the 1960s, 70s, later invested in education, technology, and infrastructure at home. The outcome for that was the reward. They became a tech powerhouse, Samsung, Hyundai, actually. Okay, Singapore invited global experts, invested in education, and created incentives for citizens abroad to return. The outcome built one of the strongest economies per capita in the world. China encouraged sea turtles, students studying abroad, to return, offer funding and incentives. Major gains in tech, science, and manufacturing were the outcome. India, early brain drain, as we heard from the lady complaining, in the 1970s and 90s, but now benefits from returnees. They're going home. They're benefiting from their brain circulated folks. Okay, the returnees, the Robin Hoods, and global India networks, IT and medicine, the outcome, tech boom and global influence. Okay. Now watch this. Now these are examples of the countries outside of Japan who practice brain circulation. Practice brain circulation. Okay. Countries that struggle to turn education abroad into progress. Oh boy. There we go. There we go. Countries that don't create stable, rewarding environments for their educated citizens tend to lose talent permanently. Examples often cited include Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya. They go straight to Africa for the example of how to fumble the bag. They went straight to Africa for an example of what not to do. You know, Jay-Z said, "I show you how to do this, son." This is, "I show you how not to do this, son." Okay. Many skilled people immigrate due to lack of infrastructure, corruption, and low pay. And they come over here and brag, "Yo, I got a house. I got the," yeah, you a loser. Dude, your country is, you know, what Donald Trump said it was. Look at the next example, family, of what not to do. Haiti. So you got Nigeria, Ghana, and Kenya, these proud Africans, and now we got Haiti. Haiti got severe brain drain. I never heard that term before. Severe. They got severe brain drain. Doctors, engineers, teachers often leave and don't return. Goddamn. Philippines. Millions work abroad. Nurses, engineers, teachers. Strong remittances, but limited national development. Matter of fact, so you got a lot of foreigners that like to give remittances back home. So let's talk about that. The main downsides of remittances include potential economic dependency. You create a bunch of lazy couch potatoes, which can discourage domestic innovation and investment, and inflation caused by increased demand. Family, these lazy goddamn foreigners are sitting on their ass in their third world broke ass country, while their relatives that live in European nations send back money. And so basically they get money, like it incentivizes these guys to be couch potatoes. It just said like it discouraged innovation. Like, so now they're not trying to work hard. They're not trying to be innovative. They're not trying to create shit because they're getting money for really nothing. They just sit on the goddamn couch. You know what I mean? Making mud pies all day. They get money. So for you guys that hear about remittance, it's not a good thing, man. That should create lazy people. All right. So, okay. Then we got Pakistan and Bangladesh. Large diaspora, limited absorption of foreign trained talent back home. Okay. And look who's next on the list. Look who's next. So we got Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, Haiti, and the Caribbean. The main people who tether and hate on FBAs, the main people are all struggling with brain drain. They won't brain circulate. We got the losers, family. The losers are butthurt and talk about us all day long. And you guys that got the nerve to act like diaspora wars go both ways. We're in a winning country. We don't know anything about no damn brain drain. These folks are experiencing brain drain and they're just butthurt looking at us shine, looking at Diddy and with the shiny suits and, you know, massive P. They see all that, you know, we just doing our thing, man. Tyler Perry, they just like, God damn, these motherfuckers. Robert Smith and whoever else, like, God, these FBAs are just great. Okay, look at this. High immigration rates. Immigration, by the way, immigration with the E means you're leaving your country. Immigration means you're arriving to somebody else's country. So immigration with the I means you're coming to somebody else's country. You're foreigner. Immigration means you're leaving, you're fleeing. So these guys immigrate to immigrate. Okay, so high immigration rates, small populations make talent loss severe. That's why it's important when they try to like pop their collar as an individual. We say, no. No one man can outshine the collective. We have to talk about your homeland. Okay, so these countries produce talent, but fail to retain or reintegrate. Okay, read that over. These countries produce talent, but fail to retain or reintegrate it because the internal systems are weak or unstable. My fault. Hey guys. Yeah, so thank you for the my fault. I was on mute by mistake. But thank you for the super chat. 999 Lenny's love. Fresh always. And I was just saying I'm living Queen Lineage Ranch. And I was just saying, Queen, make sure you subscribe. Like the video, hit the notification bell. All right, so let's go on. What else do we have? Okay. Okay, so now here's the takeaway. But now I asked ChatGPT, is it fair or am I being rude to say such things? It says the AI told me it's absolutely fair and insightful to say people from developing nations could transform their countries by returning home with the new skills that they adopted abroad. It said, but it's not just an individual responsibility. National policies must make return worthwhile. Back to Japan. Japan and similar countries succeeded because they had coherent national strategies, not just educated individuals abroad. Okay. So just a summary: brain drain, skilled people leaving developing countries, Nigeria to the US, Haiti to Canada. Brain gain, developed countries attract global talent, US, UK, Germany. Brain circulation, migrants return home with skills, China, India, South Korea. Successful Japan style model, national strategy to learn from abroad and build self-reliance. Japan, South Korea, Singapore. Struggling cases, lack of incentives or infrastructure to use skills. Many African, Caribbean, South Asian countries. All right. All right. Now remember what brain drain is. Brain drain is when you lose your most skilled, your most talented, right? And okay, so when we talk about the transatlantic slave trade, that was a 12 to 15 million person loss. Okay, that was a brain drain. That's 12 to 15 million people leaving at at one time, but the course of a couple decades, several decades, I should say. So look, so as I'm tying everything together, ChatGPT said that's a deep and important question, and it touches on centuries of intertwined Africa and European history. Let's unpack it carefully in context and without oversimplifying. It says the premise: Africans sold other Africans, but within a global system. Let me update them with the proper ethnonym. Okay. It's true that some African rulers, merchants, and intermediaries participated in the Atlantic slave trade by capturing and selling. You see, family? By capturing. Who did this? Okay, I got to make this simple for the simple people, for the simpletons. African rulers captured. Okay. So okay, so it wasn't white people. African rulers did the capturing and selling, and Europeans did the buying. That's why it's called a slave trade. So you'll let these Pan-Africanists try to rewrite history and tell us that that Europeans did the capturing, selling, and buying, which is nuts. Okay, but it's crucial to understand the structure and power dynamics of that system. Hold on. Okay, so it says Europeans control the demand, ships, and guns. So it's giving you everybody's role in the transatlantic slave trade, everybody's honest role without trying to romanticize Africa and demonize Europe. like kind of one-sided. So the transatlantic trade was organized, financed, and industrialized by European powers. Because hello, because a lot of tether would try to act like we're giving white supremacy a pass. Nope, we're telling you their role. Okay, the transatlantic trade was organized, financed, and industrialized by European powers. Portugal, Britain, France, Spain, and the Netherlands. Africans didn't initiate it or control the global market. They were pulled into it. Okay. Now, African states were not unified polities. Okay. Pre-colonial Africa had hundreds of kingdoms and societies, often rivals. Some used the slave trade as a means of survival or to gain military advantage over neighbors. So they were just banging. They were just banging on each other. They were banging on. Like they created banging. And like, that's crazy because they'll say, oh, America's the gangs. You guys created the banging. The drilling came from you guys, technically. Okay. So it says, but not as a plan to weaken Africa as a whole. The concept of a single African identity opposing Europe didn't really exist then, right? Coercion and dependency grew over time. Europeans, wait, let me fix this right. Okay, I got it. Europeans introduced firearms and other trade goods, creating dependency loops. Many African leaders were pressured to keep trading captives to maintain access to those weapons. Watch this. So while African African participation existed, the initiative, global profits, and structural power came from Europe. You see, we're talking about it. Okay, but guess what? The story doesn't end right there. But wait, there's more. Let me see what we're doing with the chat. Okay, so any all right, cool. So let's keep it moving. Keep it moving. This ain't gonna be the normal live right here. This is gonna be some information and dig. This is called brain circulation, family. I went out there, gathered information, and I'm bringing it back home to the lineage. So the demographic and economic cost to Africa. So now listen, it says, you're right, unbiased Ron, you're right that the export of 12 to 15 million Africans and likely far more counting those who died in the raids for transit devastated the continent. So family, look at my angle. This is my angle. My angle is that today you'll have Africans complain about their colonizers, how they were colonized. They'll complain about imperialists and imperialism, and they'll complain about neo-colonialism. But my response to that is, you created it. You created all of that when you sold 12 to 15 million of us across seas to Europe. Look, let's read it. So basically, you created your own problem, and the problem ended up being colonialism, colonizers, imperialism. You did the Berlin Conference. You created that. Look, family, we're going to read by selling 12 to 15 million of us. They made Europe to be the superpower by doing that. So they created the problem and then get mad that the problem came back to bite them. So look, population loss. Some regions lost a significant portion of their people, especially young, able-bodied men and women. Economic distortion, labor, innovation, and stability were undermined instead of producing or trading goods. Many societies focus on capturing people. Look, they focus on this. Nothing innovative. Social fragmentation. Okay, constant warfare and insecurity destabilized kingdoms for centuries. So yes, look. So yes, the Atlantic slave trade weakened Africa economically, politically, and demographically. Family, what I'm saying is, the Berlin Conference could have only happened by Africa selling 12 to 15 million of us to Europeans. Without doing this right here, there's no Berlin Conference. And if there's no Berlin Conference, then there's no carving up Africa. There's no colonizers. There's no colonialism. There's no imperialists. There's no imperialism. You dig? And there's no neo-colonialism at all. Watch this. How that shaped Europe's rise? How what shaped Europe's rise? Exporting of 12 to 15 million blacks. Remember, this is called brain drain, family. By doing this, Africa created its own brain drain. And guess who was the recipient? Remember, brain drain is when you basically I don't want to lessen what happened to us. I'm gonna use words correctly. So let's just say this. So brain drain is when the best minds, your labor force, leave your country and go abroad. So family, Europe has pretty much always been like a brain gain people. They'll take your best and put them to work to make themselves greater. And as we read earlier, by creating brain drains, you weaken your own country. We just read that. That's why it's important to read about brain drain and brain gain earlier to understand the dynamics of the transatlantic slave trade. So now when you talk about the transatlantic slave trade going further, you can see how that is not to be undermined. Without that, there's nothing else. There's no Europe, there's no superpowers, none of this American stuff, none of this Russia stuff, none of this, no Berlin Conference, none of that. Okay. So they did this right here, and that's called a brain drain. These people received us. That's called a brain gain. So they leveled up while these folks leveled down. All right. So number 3, how that shaped Europe's rise. While Africa lost people, Europe gained brain gain. Europe gained labor, wealth, and global leverage. Fam, you heard what I said? You heard, no, not what I said. You heard what I read. While Africa caused their own brain drain, Europe was the recipients of a brain gain. And with that brain gain, they got labor, wealth, and global leverage. There's no global leverage without Africa losing 12 to 15 million people. Okay. Let's get deeper. Slave labor built the wealth of America, of the Americas. Slave labor. There's no slave labor. These folks not sold. Okay, so slave labor built the wealth of the Americas. Plantations in the Caribbean, Brazil, and the American South produced sugar, cotton, and tobacco. The foundation of global capitalism. Profits from slavery financed Europe's industrialization, shipping, banking, insurance, ports, and industries in Britain, France, and the Netherlands thrived on this trade. Colonial expansion followed economic dominance. The same nations enriched by the slave trade became the imperial. Hey, can you guys hear me? Hello? You guys hear me? The same nations enriched by the slave, it all come back to the slave trade. These buyers of the slave trade became the imperial powers that the sellers complain about today. Oh, neo-colonialism, imperialism. All that gotta go. All that gotta go. You created it, stupid. Yes, family. This is innovative research, right? I don't think you're gonna get this on the internet outside of this channel. So the same nations enriched by the slave trade became the imperial powers that later carved up Africa. Berlin Conference, 1884 to 1885. Okay. So in effect, the transatlantic slave trade helped Europe rise and help weaken Africa, making colonization easier centuries later, family. By selling us, they inevitably created their own colonialism problem. their own imperialism problem, their own neo-colonialism problem by just selling us. So it all started with us. You sold us. And now you have a big monster carving up your country. And you're saying, well, we can't level up because of, no, you did that. You did that. Okay. All right. Okay. So was it Africans' fault? Here's where nuance matters. It's not accurate or fair to place equal blame on Africans for their own colonization. The trade was not a partnership of equals. European powers had superior technology, global networks, and systemic exploitation. Africans who participated often did so under limited options and shifting pressures. So while internal divisions played a role in enabling the trade, external forces of imperial capitalism drove and sustained it. The system was designed for European benefit. The legacy and neocolonialism. Modern neocolonialism refers to how former colonial powers and multinational systems still control African economies through debt, trade imbalances, and corporate extraction. That continuity from slavery, colonial, that continuity for it all goes back to slavery, family. All of their problems today that they can't seem to solve goes back to them selling us. They bit them in the ass. Okay, so that continuity from slavery, colonialism, neocolonialism reflects a long historical arc of structural dependency, not simply a moral failing of African actors centuries ago. In summary, factor: slave trade lost millions, Africa lost millions, destabilized societies, Europe gained massive wealth and labor, brain drain, brain gains, industrialization, stagnated economies. Africa, stagnated economies, Europe, few industrial and global dominance, colonization, Africa became divided and exploited. Hey, you caused the division. And Europe became empires. Long-term effect, Africa, economic underdevelopment, Europe, accumulated capital and power. So yes, is it AI agreeing with me? The slave trade weakened Africa and strengthened Europe, contributing to colonization, but the causes were structural and global, not simply Africans selling African. All right. So that's called research, family. That's called innovative research. Because I'm hearing these tethers complain about, they're colonizers. I'm like, wait a minute. And then they want to lump us up into that. And you guys heard me kept saying, like, why talk about colonizers and lump us up with that? We never had colonizers. We had slave masters. The entire diaspora, to some degree, had slave masters, but I know we never had colonizers. I don't know if the islands that later had colonizers, but we had slave masters. Okay, only. Bush meat hookers, facts. All right, so let me see if y'all rocking, y'all following the conversation here. So when they talk this old imperialist neo-colonialism, all that type of stuff, you remind them that you brought it on yourself. Okay, they chased people down and sold them. The homie kings were vicious, exactly, just because tribalism, facts like that. That's all they know. The love of Brad and Becky, right? Right. And if they could do it again, they would at least try. Yes, they would. These people have not had the decency to even apologize to FBA, which in my opinion, if they could do it again, they certainly would. Yes, because they justify it right now. That I showed a video yesterday of an African tether comparing Africans selling us to us selling drugs, selling crack specifically. It's all out of guilt for what they've done right. They justified them selling us 12 to 15 million people in a legal operation to a CIA covert operation unbeknownst to Foundation Black Americans. We were victims. So basically, we were victims. We were victims both sides. So we were victims in the CIA in planting crack in our neighborhoods, and we were victims in the slave trading and slave buying. So if there's any comparison between crack selling and Africans selling us. The only comparison, only common denominator is that we were victims in both. Had to go home. They sold their best. Right. That and that. Yep, they sold their best, and that's what caused the brain drain, and that's what gave Europe the brain gain. SWLE 44 says, and Pan-Africanism has spent the last 100 years rehabilitating a undeserving criminal bushmeat cow. Yep. And I'm totally convinced that Pan-Africanists are paid for on those Russian troll farms. All right, let's see what else I got. Yes, I had to cook on that, family. I had to. Yeah, cool. I had to cook on that, so forgive me for being a little long-winded with the reading there, but you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make a
friends, but no,
I'm gonna make a short video. Like I'm gonna start doing shorts. Make a whole bunch of shorts. I have like really no shorts. I got hella information, hella videos, but I really don't sum it up in 1 minute short. And I believe I'm gonna start doing that. It's all about the lineage, man.
It's so weird that some of those Caribbean people and some Africans that be or like on Twitter that be talking about African Americans while using AAVE.
Small
and still
just be yourself.
No, it is so weird that some of those Caribbean people and some Africans that be or like on Twitter that be talking about African Americans while using AAVE.
Small
and still immersing themselves in African American
and
culture
listening to rap music.
and listening to rap and hip hop. Like, how you gonna be talking about us but still in our stuff too? Or when you say we can't, when Black Americans or African Americans can't join in Caribbean things or in African things, but y'all can join in our stuff,
African American
right?
things.
Like
Exactly.
what? Like
it makes no sense, right?
And
so we're gonna share. We got to share with everybody.
other,
We have to share with each other.
exactly.
You can't pick and choose. And what I noticed, right, with people trying to pick and choose what they like from African American culture, what they like from African culture, what they like from Caribbean culture. You can't just be like, oh, yep, I'm gonna have this.
I'm gonna take this part, but I still don't like.
But I'm gonna
y'all.
make fun of them for this, that, and the third, right? So we notice that people want to have certain African things, but then they'll make fun of African people,
exactly.
and then they want to have certain Black American things, but then it's ghetto, it's this and this and that. And the third. Do you want to have the do-rags and all of that? Like, you can't have all of that at the same
and
time.
not like
you making fun of the people who started it,
Exactly.
created it, influenced it. Like, you can't
Exactly.
do that. Like,
Or take from African
they're just
culture.
as guilty of that as non-Black people of color.
Tea,
So
or-
you know, y'all be acting like you're not. Like, you know what I mean? Why are you acting like you're better or above?
And you're not.
And you're
You're
Black.
not.
So
and I hate those Caribbeans that be jumping on a bandwagon and that be talking about Black American. Y'all don't know where y'all came from either. Y'all literally don't know where. We're literally in the same boat. Literally just different stops.
Yeah, they be.
So
I'm
how
like,
y'all
why,
be talking?
if anything, if
Y'all
you were
don't-
making teams, why are you teaming up with the Africans? Like, you're not. You know what I mean? Like, Africans still have this superiority against. They can have it
Caribbeans too.
against. Speak English only. You can have your hair like this. Like, you'll be in Africa and they'll tell you to straighten your hair for a job.
No,
we're in Africa.
We're in Africa.
You know what I mean? Like,
about?
they came to our country and brainwashed us into thinking that what we have is not
It's
good.
not enough. The disrespecting each other's foods.
Yeah, we gotta stop.
That needs to cut it out.
Like, it's okay to be joking, like, oh, jollof is better than this and that. Okay, but
when you're
doing
disrespecting,
a lot, you know,
it's
I know when
disgusting.
we're joking
This
and
whole
I know when
food
we're
thing
not.
was so annoying.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, then keep your mouth closed. You don't need to be. If
Then
you
just
don't
don't
like
eat it.
it,
Yeah,
just
you don't
say,
have to do too much.
Exactly. Like, you'll be like, you know, I tried it, but it's not my thing. You know, I don't really like it. But there's no reason to be disrespectful and calling it disgusting, horseshoe, da da da. If you don't like it, then don't.
Oh no. We don't like something. It's disgusting. You dig? And we got to call it out. If you take offense to that, that's just what's up. Like, you know, if they ate some of our cultural dish, our soul food, and they say, hey, it's disgusting. Like, we won't take offense because we love it. And we just feel like maybe they eat too much, you know, mud cakes or cats that, you know, their palate is thrown off. Like, but we won't take no offense to that. We just, like I said, you know, it's kind of hard to go from hamburgers. It's hard to go from eating like bush meat, you know, bats and stuff, and then bats and rats and cats, and then start eating hamburgers. You did. I'm sure that's going to be like a hard adjustment. Think about it. Some of us had a hard time leaving pork bacon going to turkey bacon. So think about that. That was a hard adjustment for a lot of Southeast Black Americans. Pork bacon to turkey bacon. So can you imagine going from hyena bacon to pork bacon? Like, that's going to be a huge shock on your palate.
Eat it anymore.
Period.
Keep it moving. There's no reason to be disrespectful.
And like, also, if you don't like something, I feel like they're like, oh, well, there's been videos of Black people who've gone to other countries and didn't like the food and they spit it out on camera too or whatever. That's all.
Like, what?
That's not acceptable.
okay.
If you want me to excuse that, I'm not
That's
excusing
not
it.
exactly,
It's not acceptable. If a Black person tried a Black American food or whatever it is, and they spit it out on camera and started disrespecting it, it's not acceptable.
Exactly. That's
I'm not
not
gonna
okay
excuse
either.
it. There's no excuse
Right.
for any of that. Like, we all need to be respectful of each other's cultures. I feel like we don't respect each other's cultures.
Exactly, at all.
We just think we're gonna pick and choose
what we
and
want
then
from each.
we
and
don't try to
then-
learn about it. We don't try to respect it. We just adopt this aesthetic and we're like, mine. We need to learn about each other instead of trying to fight each other.
Like, I don't understand why
that was their goal. That's why they put us on different islands.
They
That's why
watching
put
us like.
Oh my God. And then we go to the conspiracy theory. Like the man is watching us. That's why the man put us on different islands. No. You fast forward because we get into some goofy shit, the spooky shit. The man, stop it. The man didn't cause Ghana to start selling us. Stop it.
I notice a lot when African Americans talk about their experiences too. People, Caribbeans and Africans, be like, "Stop acting like you're a victim. Stop Like y'all got to
no
talk
one's
about
acting like a
exactly.
victim.
Like y'all got
We're
to
all
talk
victims.
We're all
Yeah.
victims,
We're all
right?
victims.
Like y'all got to talk about your experiences. So why can't
We
African
don't listen
Americans
to
talk about their
we don't listen to
experiences?
each other. That's the thing.
Exactly.
We feel like, I feel like we talk over each other.
Yes.
So it's always like, it's trying to play the victim, and then sometimes African Americans are trying to play the victim, and it'll be vice versa. We're all the victim. That's
Literally,
why
like-
they just want us to be fighting about who's the victim.
Exactly.
It's all of
like,
us.
why can't we just sit and have a conversation
We're
and
all
talk
the
about
victim.
all of our experiences?
For all whether it was like through colonization, slavery, whatever it was, we all the victim. Just because y'all didn't get snatched or we didn't or whatever, the whole joking about how
No. What you mean snatch? See, family, you got to check them. Just because y'all didn't get snatched, okay, Bimbo, they were snatched. They were doing the snatching.
just because y'all didn't get snatched or we didn't.
Yeah, they were doing the snatching. Bimbo, bird brain. Just because they didn't get snatched, they were doing the snatching. Like, where did you read about the translating slave trade? Like who revised it to white people stole, sold, and bought? Why would it be called a transatlantic slave trade if white people did everything and Africans had no hand in it? Like, you got to stop just because they didn't get snatched. So it's little tether things in here in between all this babble.
Literally across the diaspora.
And that doesn't make anyone better than anyone else.
At all. Can
Like,
you
I
even
saw
tell
this-
the difference?
I saw this one TikTok. This African American girl was getting married to this Nigerian guy. The comments, all they did was posting pictures of their photo shoot. They look so pretty. People in the comments calling her ghetto, ratchet,
And people
a
be
gold
like,
digger.
this brings shame on
this
gold
is
digger,
shameful.
like African
Why
people.
is he dating this hood rat? He could do so much better with an African
And she didn't
girl.
even do
She
anything.
didn't even, they
She was
weren't
just
even
standing
talking.
there.
They were literally.
I thought she was an African girl. Like, I thought they were just black. I didn't think
Yeah.
about, what part of they're just black. Like, a
Exactly.
cute
Yeah,
black
like, why
couple.
is it
Y'all
that-
like,
But I was like,
black
this is
love,
such a
black
right.
love.
They look so cute, and then I
And
read
y'all,
the
you're trying to
comments.
separate it?
Yeah, like literally, they weren't even talking in a video. They was literally posing for their wedding shoot.
Where are y'all getting
And
this
people
stuff
talk about
from?
she's
She
ghetto,
looks
she's
ghetto.
ratchet.
What is she doing?
Right.
What is she
She's
doing?
literally standing. How is she ghetto?
She's
Literally,
just
if
She's
she was
breathing.
African, you guys would say this. Would you guys say the same thing?
No.
No.
I'm
Like, I don't understand how is
She's
she
not
ghetto.
doing anything. She's actually standing there like, y'all gotta stop. If a black American girl, Caribbean girl wants to date an African girl, who cares? Like, I have so many Caribbeans in my family. I have black Americans in my family. Like,
So like, what's the issue?
no one cares, bro. We do the wedding. It's fine. We all get
It's gonna
lit.
be lit.
And at the end of the day, like, no one cares. Oh, he's from this. Who cares?
It doesn't matter.
You think people, like, no one cares. It's still a black couple. You guys are still black. You're in love. Who cares?
Literally, or like when Caribbean,
Like, celebrate it.
right? Like
Yeah.
when Caribbeans be like, don't date Black Americans, don't date Africans. Like for what? Why? Why not?
Like, I understand we be joking, like, oh, we
Like,
don't
ew,
date,
I don't like you.
you don't
Like,
like
it's a
African
joke.
men.
But at
No,
the
we're
end of the day,
joking.
it's literally, yeah.
We're joking.
Exactly.
You know, we
Like,
joking about
that's
Caribbean
not
men, but like,
real.
Right.
if I actually like the Caribbean man, I would actually, like, it's not
I'm not
about,
gonna be
it's
like,
about
ew,
their
you're
behavior.
African.
Yeah, like, I'm not
yeah, it's about
gonna
their
I'm gonna be
behavior,
like,
not
ew,
the
you're
fact that they're
African.
from
Ew,
Jamaica.
Black Americans, and they weren't. Homeboy was
Yeah.
African, and he's sitting up there being disrespectful too.
That is
So how, like,
your own people, child.
be your own
That is
people.
sad, though.
But y'all are just, they're so quick to just assume and just jump into the bashing.
Right, like,
that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work.
and it's so weird to me when everyone in diaspora, like, they'll cap for white people and non-black people who enter themselves into our culture, but then be attacking each other for being in
For
each
the
other's
same exact
culture.
reason, like,
Yeah.
oh, we need to let other people enjoy and experience our culture, like, stop gatekeeping, but
then-
you try to
For
gatekeep
what?
from other people.
Exactly, in the
To get validation?
Yeah.
Literally, that don't.
It's not
stop
gonna get
dancing. Stop dancing for massive, bro.
Right, and like
Stop
the whole
letting
thing
these
with
people
Chet
in.
Hanks putting on a fake Jamaican accent. Tom Hanks'
Oh,
son.
the guy? Oh my God. Really?
Tom
I
Hanks'
have
son.
this.
Yeah.
Wait, is he the one?
You
Who
should show
always
me
had
that.
the fake Jamaican accent.
Oh, yeah.
It was like some Jamaican, like, oh, this is funny. Like,
Stop dancing. It doesn't look good. Y'all
he
be
just
so
appreciated
excited.
our culture.
They be so excited.
But then you would be dragging Black Americans.
When white people are so quick, when white people embrace like African culture, they be so excited. They be like,
And then when
no, literally, when it's anyone else, I'm like,
they be like,
you're not African. Literally, the person is black.
right.
So, like, what? Why are you so excited when white people do it, and then when an African American does it, you're like,
You're like, ew. Like,
Don't-
y'all all,
It's not a good look.
Africans, Black Americans, Caribbean, y'all be getting on my nerves.
as a whole, stop.
Like,
Stop.
yeah, just,
I literally didn't even know there was a difference between all of us until y'all started getting mad. I was like, oh, we're all black, but we just have
Right.
a
No. We're not all black people. Some of us, the only connection we have, the only common denominator we have with the Caribbean people and African is possibly we're all POADs. We're all possibly POADS, people of African descent. That's probably the only thing we got in common.
different cultures, but
Right,
like,
like,
then
I
y'all
was like,
started
we all
creating all
cool.
these differences. I was like, nobody was paying attention to that.
exactly.
No, I didn't care about that. I literally
at all,
didn't.
because that's not real
I wasn't
life.
thinking about it. I really wasn't. Like,
Like-
we're all here. We're all in America. We're all like black Americans.
Exactly.
How that's possible? How, y'all got to make that make sense. How are we all black Americans? That's like saying, well, I mean, why we all can't just be Kenyans or Zimbabweans, South Africans or Haitians? Wouldn't that sound dumb? To say, hey man, let's all get along. We're all Haitians. Like, y'all would look at me like I was crazy if that was my conclusion. And that's how I look at you guys when you say we're all black or black American. I think you guys are crazy.
So they're all viewing us as like
same
black,
thing.
like, you know what I mean? No one is
Like,
like,
you
oh,
think that white
before the
people see it
police,
different?
literally
Yeah.
before the police, oh, you're African? Oh, you're good.
You're good. You could go. You
I'm
could
sorry.
go. Caribbean.
You forgot.
You're
Listen, the police already know. The police already know who's African, who's Caribbean, and who's not, because you guys have your flag in your car. Did you forget? Did you forget that most of you, or a lot of you, or too many of you, have your flags in your car? That is a wink, wink. I'm not a foundational Black American symbol. You dig? Yeah, we are you.
free.
You're good.
Right. Like,
Dominican?
they don't care.
Nobody cares.
Nobody
They don't.
cares.
And I'll tell
And
you
that's
that
the other thing,
firsthand.
with, like, Hispanic people and
Yes,
Black
not thinking that
That's
they're
a whole
black.
other
I know
topic,
black. I know
though.
black. I know black.
You're black.
But then you want to be saying the N word and getting box braids. and yada, yada,
Exactly.
yada.
Like, literally, you guys be braiding your hair on the islands, and your music be literal African
Afro
music,
beats,
literally. And then-
reggaeton.
Literally,
Where did it come
where does that
from?
come from?
Reggae, Jamaica.
Where does that? You literally share an island with Haiti. You make fun of Haiti for being black. You guys don't think that they should.
So these young women are now calling Afro-Latinos Black. No, they're Afro-Latinos. You just said it. You just called them Afro-Latinos or whatever Spanish. That's what they are. That's exactly what they are. What is that? That's dope. Okay.
Black too. You literally share the island. You would think people you share an island with, you're gonna look similar to.
Exactly.
So I don't know where you guys are getting this from, the superiority complex.
Yeah, y'all not better either.
At all. That's definitely its
all.
own discussion on its own.
Facts.
Yeah.
And one thing I don't like, I do notice that sometimes Black Americans always take the fall for stuff that goes wrong in the Black community.
True.
Like, some people would be like, it's always Black Americans that do this, that, and the other. They're the ones who always this, that, and the other. They're embarrassing. They're this. Like, it's not always just Black Americans.
Sometimes it's African,
It's
sometimes
not always
it's Caribbean.
right.
Like, it be us as a whole. Like, don't.
Yeah, like people always try to make it seem like it's always Black Americans that start problems, and it's not.
It's not.
It's not just them.
There was literally an African doctor who shot up a hospital like a couple years ago. Like, you know what I mean? Yes, it was like in the Bronx. Like, it was like. Not in the Bronx, I forgot where it was, but like it was its own thing. He literally brought a gun. It was like African people are not guilty of their crimes. They're not. I mean, they're not innocent of their crimes. Like,
exactly. Like, it's
we're
not
all.
always.
You know what? I stop trying to pin it on. Oh, Black Americans are violent and this and that. You literally are Black and American.
Exactly.
Like, they're thinking about you too.
Exactly.
You're not separated.
Nobody's gonna say
You're a part of that.
Exactly.
That's you too. Stop trying to separate yourself from it. Like, you know what I mean? Revel, sit in that, you know, the discomfort you feel with being Black, you need to work on it.
Exactly.
So
like,
if you think about it, you're trying to push blame to everybody else in the third, trying to push blame to African Americans.
Yeah, like, yeah, literally.
That's you too. Like, take accountability if you feel like something is going wrong.
Exactly.
You all need to be working together instead of trying to push blame.
Team, and that's on period.
But that's what I have to say.
That's all I have to say for today. But yeah, this is so like, oh, it's so frustrating.
It was definitely, I feel like it was therapeutic to talk about.
Yes.
You know? Yeah. Because I feel like
and I'm
we
glad
don't talk about it that much.
And I'm so glad like none of us are like ignorant, where it's like placing the blame on one specific person or being disrespectful.
Being able to call out the fault in your own community, like you should be able to do that.
Exactly.
Otherwise, we're never gonna be free.
Exactly.
And it's hard to take, to take blame for yourself.
Exactly. That's true.
It's hard
yourself.
Exactly. It has to be done.
It has to be done.
If you want to move forward.
Exactly. Like, there needs to be a discussion without people being disrespectful.
Exactly, and trying to push blame.
And I think that can be done.
It can be, but, people are ignorant.
Like, we get it. He was bullied in elementary school for your accent.
We gotta push forward.
But you're grown.
We gotta push
You're
forward.
still gonna blame all Black Americans for that, and
Like,
vice
that's
versa.
Go take it up with the people.
Right, take it up with the person that bullies you.
exactly.
Not
Take it with
everybody.
a specific person.
Yo, I never even knew some Black Americans were saying like African booty scratcher, blah blah blah, in elementary school, because it was always Africans making fun of each other. So I was like, I thought that was normal for y'all. I was like, y'all do that?
Oh, maybe that's your thing.
Right? I was like, oh, so that's what y'all do.
Personally, like, I feel like I was more Hispanic people. You know. But yeah, that was definitely where it came from for me personally. But,
yeah, for your own experience. Yeah, because I never saw that.
Yeah, I feel like it was
life.
mostly racism in general. Like, I feel like there was the African jokes, but I feel like it was mostly
coming
racism,
from
other groups of people. So,
but yeah, I've never actually seen Black people disrespect each other. Like, it's so weird.
it's scary.
Yeah, not like this.
Like,
they always grouped us all together, so I was just like, oh, we all.
Yeah, I was like, we all cool. We all family.
They would just push us in one table in the back, so it was just like.
Right.
The Blacks.
Like, I always saw us like as family. So like,
it was never a problem for
when
me.
I saw that people were actually beefing in real life, I mean on Twitter and stuff, I'm like, where did
people
this come
be on
from?
Twitter, like, go to
Y'all
work.
just be saying anything.
Go to work.
Y'all just be saying
right?
anything.
Like, stop
this is
fighting
not real.
people on Twitter at all. It's not gonna work.
Because there's so much to say. We could probably make a part 2 another day. But yeah, like,
we got 30 minutes, child.
Chill.
You have a lot to edit.
Fact. That's a fact. But yeah, like, we all cool, we all family. We all need to just get along and respect each other and share each other's cultures.
And watch
in
what
the Black
happens
diaspora.
when we start doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Then white people are going to be mad.
That's what they want us to see us divided, so we need to.
Yes, Black
together.
Americans, Caribbeans, Africans, we are families. So stop acting like coons. All
We all came from the same place.
like, we could all share each other's cultures and be respectful.
No, we can't, because they can't even. I mean, oh my God. I would love to speak to these women. Oh, so I did. I wrote them 10 months ago. So look, they're not interested. This was a great show. I need to invite y'all to my Zoom. They just like the video. Look, they just like shit. Like, family, all this kumbaya shit. They don't believe it. They're not willing to join no FBA. They're not willing to join nobody who say they're FBA, Adolf, the Senator Friedman. They're not willing to join none of us on a live stream to discuss this. This kumbaya shit, stop. It's terrible, man. It's terrible. Yeah, so the Cash App is right there. It's $$ buys Ron. Yeah, but oh shit, I hate when I do that. So I'm gonna play a little bit more. Then we're gonna close out, family, because we're back. We're back about 7 a.m., 7:30 the latest tomorrow morning. Actually, every morning. Every morning we're back 7 a.m. in between 7 a.m. 7:30 a.m. It can be slightly a little earlier, but definitely set in between 7 a.m. 7:30 a.m. every morning, and we're done about 8:30. So I try to go a little earlier, 7, so we can do an hour and a half. You feel me? That's every morning, and I will be live pretty much 8:30 p.m. every night. And right now, I'm in a public place where it's like it was like kind of dry today, I guess because of football, but it's normally lit. And when people will be dapping me and talking to me, I usually put it on mute and play a video like this. If I say for now on, I'm gonna mute the video and let you hear the authentic conversation with me and the people in my city, so y'all can see how transparent, how people embrace me. And you're gonna see a lot of people just, whether say, "Hey, what's up?" or the small conversation. You're gonna see that I'm well embraced in my cities. I'm different than a tether. I don't hide behind a computer. Like I'm in public. And where I'm at is public. I'm in a lit spot. Okay, I'm in a really lit spot. Thanks for the super chat, Lorianne. $5 super chat in the building. I appreciate it. That's ASF. I don't know on research. Okay. More like 14 pounds of zebra meat.
Period.
Like, I don't understand why y'all be fighting. It's so stupid and pointless.
Stupid.
I have a question though. What country do I look like I'm from? Like, what African country y'all think I'm from?
Me?
Yeah, y'all. And y'all.
I don't even know. I just be thinking all Africans be looking similar. Like, I feel like you could look Nigerian, you could look Senegalese, you could look Ghanaian. Honestly, we all have
yeah. You know what?
features.
First thing that came to my mind was Senegalese.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm curious. I want to know because I want to take.
But where did
DNA
the
test.
majority of enslaved people come from?
That's what. And I don't really know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Definitely the West, but I don't know there were specific countries like from Jamaica. A lot of Ghanaians.
Yeah.
So a lot of them are Ghanaian. But I don't
either
know.
Ghanaian or Nigerian.
Yeah.
But then because it's like it's probably two different because the Africans that came to the Caribbean and the Africans in America it's probably different.
Yeah, you're
so
probably
I'm like,
definitely maybe two different countries. two different
yeah, like I'm
tribes.
curious. I want to.
You ever think about maybe doing a test?
I want
but
to,
those
but like
expensive.
First of all,
It should be free.
why do I need to pay to see where you snatched me from? I should be free.
It should be free.
It should be free. Like,
yeah, definitely need to work on that.
But I think because a few Africans have asked me before, like outside in the street, they'd be like, "Are you Ghanaian? Are you African? Are you like?" And I'm like, "No."
You definitely look like you could be from. You look like you could be Ghanaian.
Really?
Yeah, you could.
I'm curious. I really want to know.
Yeah, I feel like when we get the results, we see.
Yo, I did want to do that one day. Like, take a test and then open it up.
Yeah, but it's not for the job.
I know the fact that I have to pay. That's so out of pocket.
Yeah, why do they make it? Why do they charge people money? Like,
I have no idea.
Black
to find out where your ancestors
Black
came
Americans, it should get it for
It should be
free.
free. I don't think that's fair.
That sounds like a hate crime to me.
It does. Also reparations, so that should be included.
I really want to know like where my ancestors came from.
Because I'm just snatching people left and right.
Right? But yeah, we all family, y'all. We all cool. Get together. Yes. Oh my gosh. But yes, we're all cute. We're all fine.
Yeah, listen.
We're all family. We
I was
all
out
lit.
like 1
Imagine
minute,
a
and here you
party
come.
with Black Americans.
I'm leaving in 1 minute, and here you come.
Oh my god.
This fucking be lit.
Literally, we would never leave.
The party's
would
gonna
never
be until the
end.
next
Yeah,
day.
Literally.
exactly.
Everybody would get there late.
All right, so one of my boys came through. I'm gonna leave the camera open so y'all can hear some of the conversation.
Though. So that's why the party.
You're all gonna get late.
Right, the party would be.
It will start.
Ending.
Yeah,
It's gonna
Late.
start at like 1 in the morning.
Literally, and it was never gonna end.
Oh my
Never gonna
gosh,
end.
just
And
imagine
nobody.
the bops from
Oh my god, girl. We're gonna be
the
dancing.
cookout songs, the regular hip hop songs, dance hall, soca, Afro.
It's over for
everything.
everybody waist.
It's clipped for y'all.
It's over.
The waist
And it's such a
broken,
good
back
feeling.
broken.
Yes, I feel like we need to be coming together, like
yeah,
Exactly.
to have
to
like
appreciate
Afro,
other cultures and learn about other cultures instead of like bashing other. Like, you're really missing out if you're bashing other people's cultures.
Exactly.
Because it's such a great feeling.
And there's so much rich African American culture in America.
Yeah.
Like there's places
It's
I want to go
amazing,
visit.
bro.
Like I want to be in.
I wanna visit
I want to go to
South.
New Orleans.
Yes.
I want to go. Like, there's so many
In
places.
Detroit.
They be cooking. They be eating. Like you need to be appreciating. It's not just African and Caribbean culture we need to be appreciating. Like,
It
you
needs to
know,
be
Black
all
American
of us,
culture, like
all
all these
of
dances,
us.
like y'all be doing, you don't know where it comes from. Like, you need to appreciate it.
Yes.
So
like,
yeah, definitely want to do that.
Yes, like y'all need to. Yeah, everybody in the comments, like, say something nice about each thing. So yes, so like, Black Americans most definitely the blueprints for a lot of trends and stuff like that. Africans, child, the Afro beats be hitting, the food be hitting. Caribbeans, y'all waistlines fire. I want to. Can we go to Carnival one day? We need to go.
That y'all put your foot in that every year. Every year it's so good. I mean, I don't know they canceled it, but you know,
I know.
we definitely need to go.
We're going one day
in the near future.
Yes, yes. We need to go to all of our share. We should all like go to an event or do something for each of our cultures. Like, that would be fire.
And we could have like a whole like culture day. Where we're, like,
Yes, we
should.
We
just
should.
like bring a dish or something and like do that. We should
like
definitely do
like
that.
the potluck.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when Corona or whenever, maybe during the summer.
Yeah.
You hear so much, they have to be charging you rent.
You know what? Last time I was here
was yes.
Yeah, you see, it was kind of lit. Here, a lot of people coming in. I see. You know what? Because I'm here. I'm Starbucks. I'm Panera Bread. I'm like, you know what? At first, the lit just kind of like bothered me. The interaction, everybody kind of like disturbed me. I was like more covert. I said, you know what? I'm about to embrace it.
That's your question.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I'm a content creator. I'm not here for free. Yeah, I do content.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I'm live right now. That's my live chat right here. Two people watching right now.
Little safe
That would
gathering.
be really
That would
fun.
be fun.
Also, and also, y'all need to give us Black
That Tuesday, wait, what's the Tuesday?
Americans a flag, because you will not catch me using
Yeah,
the American flag.
where is that at?
Run me the African American flag,
Why
because I will not be
isn't
using
that-
the American
I feel
flag.
like we need to put how do we get in contact?
Yeah,
with
like
Africa?
let's make
Like
like a
Samsung, like how do we
get in
can we
contact
make a
with the
petition?
phone?
Because
Yeah, I'm like
a GoFundMe.
Yeah, so what I did was I said this. I told my chat this. Ain't she a dope? Oh yeah, overnight. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, thank you, guys. Yeah. So I was saying that I'm here, I'm working basically.
I don't want to be offensive.
She gotta be. Now just say, hey, like I didn't know. Do the reverse. Say, I didn't know minors can work overnight.
That's even more offensive.
But but no young people want to be called young.
No, young people want to be called young.
Nah.
Yeah.
Older people want to be called young.
No, older people don't want to be called young. Older people want to be called for what it is. I'm proud of my age.
our colors are black, red,
and green.
Red, black, green.
green. So I'm understanding. There's literally a flag.
So put it on here.
They literally have every other like flag.
Literally every flag, and Black Americans have left the chat.
Like there is
like nobody wants to use the American flag,
The
bro.
American flag. Ever.
That's so
Like, that just
humiliating,
looks
especially
ever.
since this country. Nobody want to rep that. Especially, I understand why Black people wouldn't want to put it in their bio because
Exactly, that's embarrassing.
Why would you rep America?
Exactly.
It
Like
just
I love being a Black American,
Like, oh, you guys are just American.
No.
Every time like someone puts the American flag in the back,
They're
I associate it with like
definitely
the,
with racism.
like the picture of like the guy holding
the fish.
I associate it with that. I don't know why.
I'm sorry,
y'all,
but other
don't
people
make
of
them
color
go
that
do
have
that.
the American flag, they're so sus.
Yeah, I'm like,
I can't trust.
Like, I understand if you're saying like, oh, you have the American flag because you're Black American, but like, you have the American flag because you're proud to be an American, especially if you're Black American.
How
That's scary. That's
is anyone like
you
allowed
guys
to be an
okay?
American? Any
Like,
people of
why
color?
would you
I've
be
never
proud?
seen that before, and I
That's
hope I never
literally
do.
so embarrassing. But yes, we're all family, all Black Americans, African Americans / whatever, Africans, Caribbeans, we all cool. all family. We all need to treat each other with respect.
Period.
And be kind and love each other.
I'll
That's
beat you
all,
up. Pow,
period.
pow, pow. All right, be nice to people.
Screaming, but yes. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and call me Gizzy. Shout out your Instagrams.
You know what? Deborah Babalola _
I'll put it on the screen.
Yeah, because nobody can spell that.
Put it on the screen. And I will definitely make another video with my homies. And you will definitely see them often.
Happy Valentine's Day, even though we don't.
No, y'all don't
deserve
Valentine's. Screaming, but yes, we're gonna go eat something probably, and then get bubble tea, and then we going home.
And everybody make sure to eat today. Yes, drink your water.
Yes, and stay safe. After this video,
and take your medicine. Wear your mask. Take your medicine.
Wash your hands.
Meditate. And tell somebody that you love them today. Literally.
Period. Anyways, I love y'all.
I love you.
And I love y'all. Period. We love each other. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Mwah.
Bye.
That's what we pushed for, and that's what we got. You got it? In the civil rights movement in the 60s, we said, listen, we want equal laws for everybody. Everybody can eat at any restaurant they want to. Everybody can go to any school they want to. Everybody can go to any restroom they want to. Everybody can drink from any water fountain. It's not going to be no preferential treatment. Everybody's going to be treated the same. Then we got that push. We got it on paper. Whatever we get on paper, it's equal. It benefits everybody. It's a fair deal. It ain't no little janky ass plea deal where we're sitting up here undermining people, going along and legitimizing white tea supremacy. We never pushed a deal that legitimized white tea supremacy. Every deal we pushed as foundational Black Americans challenged it. Everyone. No other group can say that over here, ladies and gentlemen. Even the immigration with the tethers in here running their damn mouths. We were the ones who said, hey, those little racial quotas where y'all won't let Africans over, you won't let Caribbeans over in large numbers, you got little quotas for them, you got quotas for Asians, you won't let them over. All that shit has to go. We were the ones who said all of those racial quotas and immigration has to go. If you're going to have an immigration law, it has to be equal. You have to give immigrants equal footing to come over here. And that didn't even benefit us because we ain't immigrants. But we stood on equality business. We had to challenge the white tea supremacists. So this is what I'm saying. We've never made little janky ass plea deals. We're the only people who force these people to do right by the laws that's already on the books and make them equal and not selectively enforce them based on race. We've never legitimized white tea supremacy. You understand? That makes us unique, ladies and gentlemen. That's why everybody has to run up over here under us. All of these people who come over here benefiting off the laws that we pushed, because we were the only ones pushing back on the white tea supremacy like that in large numbers consistently. You understand? Our position as foundational Black Americans is one of uncompromised resistance. We've never compromised through treaties. Our resistance and our lineage, it remains intact. We've never accepted bribes for peace, land for silence, security in exchange for servitude, none of that stuff. We've always resisted these people. You understand? That makes us unique. So I don't want to hear about your little janky deals y'all signed. Y'all signed plea deals. We didn't. Excuse me. All right, let's get some folks up in here because we're in here heavy. Yeah, we stood 10 toes down. That's why people have to come up here under us. That's why people always have to co-opt our movements. Anything we do, they got to do a little janky version of it. And now we're getting to the point where we're letting folks know y'all not just going to be coming up under us all willy-nilly undermining us after we've done a lot to help all of these people. And y'all not going to be disrespecting our lineage. That's why the delineation movement is very, very important. That's why people are so shook. You understand? Because they know we got a righteous claim. We're supposed to be looking out for our lineage. As much disrespect as we've been receiving from these people, we're supposed to be looking out for our lineage. Because these people do nothing but come over here and denigrate us on the slick, say little slick shit behind closed doors after we sat up here and helped them out. Just like with that Monaleo situation, her manager, they caught him using all of these derogatory terms, calling us all types of akadas and the N-word and all of that. And I want y'all to notice something about Monaleo and her manager, and because that's been blowing up on social media. We done pulled out the tweets of this man, and he's locked his page. This man has been denigrating foundational black. And by the way, Monaleo's her manager. He's Nigerian. Now, Monaleo was sitting up here going on a press tour talking about the importance of unity, this and unity, that. And she was basically cursing out the black grassroots over here, talking about if y'all don't want unity with everybody, F y'all and all this. And her manager is up here calling us every name under the sun, akadas, N-words. Oh my God, just denigrating us left and right. And I want y'all to notice something, family, because that whole expose of Monaleo and her manager, that's blowing up on social media. Have y'all noticed all of these immigrant-run blogs? They ain't saying nothing about that. Oh, he was talking about how much he loved white girls and all that. Notice, these immigrant blogs, Shade Room, Gossip, Madame Noir, The Root, that's an immigrant-run ass blog. Media Takeout, they ain't saying nothing about it, are they? Y'all notice that? They ain't saying nothing about that tether-ass manager talking greasy about us. They haven't said nothing. Now, they run stories on every little thing that happens in our community. Every little thing, they run a story on it and blow it up. Every little scandal with foundational black American artists or public figures, they run a story on it. They are very, very quiet about this. You see, this is how the tether class look out for each other. I told y'all about them damn blogs a long time ago. I told people about them tether damn blogs. I peeped a decade and a half ago how they got down, how they would always run these crazy stories about black American celebrities and public figures, and just us and our culture in general. They would just promote the underbelly. They would promote the most ratchet nonsense. But anytime they talked about Africa or the Caribbean, it was always a positive story. They would always talk about some Nigerian wedding. Oh, this Nigerian guy got a scholarship. Everything about Africa would be extremely positive. Everything about us would be ratchet. Oh, I noticed that a long time ago. They don't run negative stories on themselves. And Candace Owens said the quiet part out loud. She said it straight up and down. Remember? She did an interview and she said, listen, because Candace Owens, she identifies as Caribbean. She said, listen, when I was working at the Daily Wire, I'm going to be honest, I have Caribbean privilege. I give Caribbean privilege. Anytime they wanted me to write a story or do a negative story on some Caribbean, I wouldn't do it. When they wanted to do a negative story on Cardi B or Rihanna or Nicki Minaj or whatever, she said she wouldn't do it. She had Caribbean bias. She wouldn't do it. She said it out of her damn mouth. So a lot of those people are like that. These blogs, they don't show negative stories about their fellow Caribbeans or their fellow African. They don't do that. But they show every negative thing over here. I peeped that early on. And that was problematic. And the same thing with Monaleo. None of these blogs are saying anything about that. Now, they were just blowing her up the other day. They ain't saying nothing about this scandal with her damn manager because these people have the same damn views about us. You understand? These people have the same views about us. Yeah, they want that story to go away. Also, the reason why they're quiet, a lot of these tether blogs, they're satellites for the Democrat Party, by the way. A lot of these tether blogs, They are satellites for the DNC. That's another thing. And this whole Mauna Leo thing is a DNC play. That's why whenever Kamala and these people are running these tether blogs to interview her and all of these other people, because they push immigration, and their job is to come in and undermine our culture and our lineage and act as they're our representatives. Yeah? So it's very important to understand the game out here. Let me get some more people in here. Let's get the family in here. Y'all raise your hand if you want to get up, because we got a lot of people in here. Shout out to my sis Nat with the super fan. All right, y'all, come on in here. Let's just chop this thing up. We're going to get a lot of folks up in here. All right, let me see who we got. What's up, dear? Shannon? Shannon? Okay, what are you doing, Shannon? Okay, she must not have meant to get on. Okay, she's in there making a late night snack. All right, Shannon, I'm gonna let you do what you do. All right. All right. So let me look in the queue. Let's try this. If you're ready to get up, raise your hand. Let's do it like that. Raise your hand if you're ready to get up. In the chat, raise your hand. All right, raise your hand if you are ready to get up. Rich, for some reason, it's not letting me get you up. All right, raise your hand if you're ready to get up. All right, let me try some people. Hold on. Okay, some of these people, I'm trying to let y'all up, and it's not letting me put you up. All right, for some reason, it's not giving me the option to let y'all up. All right, I don't know what that's about. Let's try. I don't know why it's not letting me let y'all up. All right, some of these people just make a request. Ebony just became a super fan. Respect to you. Yeah, Rich is not giving me the option. I'm trying to let you up, Richie. Make another request. I don't know why it's doing this, man. I don't know why it's doing this. I don't know why it's doing this, but I'm going to try something. I'm going to try it this way. All right. Mello?
Hey, how you doing? B1 to the family.
How you doing, Mello? You good?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. My thing. I always see revenue come up here, and you keep pushing the Pan-African stuff, but it's crazy to me because he denigrates us and stuff like that, like all the Black Americans for things that FBA says. And I identify as FBA, but he says that Black Americans aren't FBA, but yet to slight FBAs, he'll talk about the lineage of Black Americans, talk about we got ate up by dogs and all this stuff like that. I just find it crazy because he's pushing all this Pan-African stuff while you using it to, you know what I'm saying? It's just crazy to me. I just don't understand it.
Oh, yeah. Look, Revenue, get up here. Get up here real quick, Revenue. Let's talk about that, Revenue. Because, Revenue loves talking about how we got bit up by dogs and all that stuff. Yeah, and again, when they try to use me as a proxy, it's never about me. It's about the lineage. They got disdain and vitriol for the lineage and all of that.
And my bad, too. One other thing. That Gumby guy, I went to one of his lives before, and he got upset that you keep muting him, but I got up there on the stage and I started to talk, and before I even got a few words out, he started to mute me because I guess I said something he didn't like, and then he threw me off the panel.
Oh yeah. He's a whining tether, and I don't let him use my platform to whine because he don't have nothing to say. They want to use our platforms to just start lying and trolling. We don't do that. Now, Revenue, you in here causing havoc, denigrating our lineage, Revenue. We got Brother Dan in here too. Revenue.
What's up, Rick?
Yeah. So now Revenue, they want to know why you have so much disdain for our lineage. Is it jealousy?
Nah, I don't got no disdain for African Americans. I think y'all some of the most dopest people. But when you say that, you've been fighting and all this stuff, I don't see no treaties. I don't see no sovereign land. And when the whole world watched your lineage get, water hose and bit up by dogs. So I don't know this amount of big fighting that y'all did.
Yeah, it's like we didn't sign treaties and plea deals like your lineage did. Y'all had to sign plea deals.
So I'm so glad that he mentioned the treaty thing, because I mentioned that the other day. The treaty is like a plea deal. He wasn't lying. I read about the Maroons today. How the Maroons signed treaties with the British Empire, and in those treaties they agreed to be slave catchers. Like they agreed to catch runaway slaves from plantations in Jamaica or whatever. Right. So that was part of that treaty. But I always wonder, like, what's the difference between let me see. Yeah, I always wonder, family. I always wonder what was the difference between people who smoke marijuana from a blunt tobacco leaf and from a bong, right? I don't smoke at all, but I have an inquiring mind. So let's read this and we out of here, family. So it says, short answer, neither option is clean because both involve burning plant matter and inhaling smoke, but there's a big difference. Quick take, blunts, tobacco wraps, cigarillos, cannabis plus nicotine. So family, listen to this, because a lot of times, y'all been smoking, this ain't gonna change your habit rate, I don't think. But the issue is, like, a lot of our youth, when their first introduction to marijuana is from, they're introduced by the blunt wrap, the tobacco leaf. So like they are addicted to nicotine right away. So I think that's not like, if y'all gonna have the youth smoking marijuana, at least, don't get them addicted to nicotine as well. But check it out. Blunts, tobacco wraps, cigarillos, cannabis plus nicotine, and and plus extra toxins from tobacco. So you got extra toxins from tobacco, more irritating smoke, higher carbon monoxide, and nicotine makes the habit more compulsive for many people. Bongs, water pipes, still combustion, right? But the water cools and removes some water, soluble irritants, particles. It does not make smoke safe and can even encourage larger hits, more THC and tar per puff. Interesting. What a blunt is. Okay, so blunts versus bongs, what's actually different? All right, what a blunt is. Cannabis rolled into a cigar, cigarillo, or tobacco leaf wrapped, often flavored. Tobacco wrappers are thicker and less porous, hotter, harsher smoke, and more carbon monoxide than thin rolling papers. Contains nicotine even if you don't add any tobacco filler. Okay, nicotine raises heart rate and blood pressure and is highly addictive. You see, nicotine. So you don't know if you're smoking a blunt for the nicotine high or the marijuana high. You did, putting the marijuana in there might just be an excuse to smoke. Putting marijuana in the blunt might be your justification or denial that you're addicted to nicotine. You feel me? It says tobacco smoke add tobacco specific nitrosamines and other carcinogens on top of cannabis combustion byproduct. What a bong does, you burn cannabis in a bowl, smoke passes through water before you inhale. Water cools smoke and catches some water soluble compounds, a bit of ammonia, some particulate. Users often perceive it as smoother, but bongs don't remove tar, coal, or most carcinogens in a meaningful way. Because it's smoother, people often take deeper, longer inhalations, which can increase total intake per hit. Bottom line, less throat burn doesn't equate to lost risk. You get less throat burn, but the risk is still the same because it's still smoke. It is one less addictive. This is the theory I had, family. When I hear about people smoking through bongs and marijuana leaves, I'm like, yo, the bong got to be less addictive because you're not dealing with the nicotine thing. You're just dealing with the marijuana thing. Let's see if it's real. I just researched this today, just now, while Truke is playing. Is one less addictive. Nicotine is the big driver of dependence. Blunts expose you to nicotine, which increases craving and frequency. Nicotine reinforces the habit and pairs cannabis with a stimulant like Q. nicotine is associated with more severe cannabis use pattern when cannabis and tobacco are co-used. Damn. Yeah, so this is how you got those crackhead smokers. It says cannabis on its own can be a habit forming. Estimates of 20% risk of cannabis use disorder rises with daily high THC use and early onset. But adding nicotine typically raises the likelihood you'll use more often, and find it harder to cut back. I thought so. I'm like, I don't see people just smoking bongs all day like people do the blunt. Look at that. Look, unbiased. Ron, your observation that blunt smokers seem to smoke more aligns with what research generally finds about co-use with tobacco. Is linked to higher frequency, stronger cravings, and more difficulty quitting than cannabis alone. I thought so. That's why it says your observation by Ron is right. Okay, is bong smoke cleaner, healthier, cleaner than blunts on the nicotine use? Yes. Tobacco, no nicotine if you're just using cannabis and glass. Healthier overall, not really. You still get combustion byproducts. Some lab studies have found unfavorable tar to THC ratios with certain water pipes because users compensate with larger, deeper hits. If the goal is harm reduction, dry herb evaporation, not the same as oil vapes. Okay, so not talking about oil vapes, it's saying dry herb vaporization at moderate temps generally produces fewer toxins than smoking, but that's a different device class. Okay, and then I want to know about the marijuana, dispensary marijuana versus street marijuana. Is there a difference, right? So it says dispensary legal market typically tested by, this is dispensary marijuana, typically tested by licensed labs for potency, THC, CBD, contaminants, pesticides, heavy metals, mold, yeast, e.g. aspergillus, residual solvents for concentrate. So they test for all that stuff. Batch tracking, COAs, certificates of analysis, labels and harvest dates, and recall mechanisms. Caveats: lab quality varies occasional. Lab shopping or potentially inflation scandals happen. Still, it's far more regulated and transparent than street supply. Street supply, illicit market, no standard testing or recalls. Potency labeling, if any, is unreliable. So they'd be like, "Yo, this is the shit right here, yo. This is the one right here." He's lying. There's no way it's unreliable. He didn't test for it. No way. Okay. So higher risk of pesticide residues, e.g. myclobutanol, mold, poor curing storage, in some cases, adulteration. Family, if you don't know what adulteration means when something's considered in like a lab as adulterated, it's not supposed to be sold at all. That means it's tampered. It's tainted. Okay. They're saying most cases the street marijuana is adulterated. Risks are especially high with illicit vape carts. For flower, it's mostly about contaminants and freshness uncertainty. It says practical harm reduction tips. If you choose to use, avoid tobacco wraps or flavored blunt wraps or eliminate nicotine exposure, use paper or it says exposure. It says use paper or glass instead. Right. So there you go, family. So I find it crazy that our kids, our youth, when they're introduced to marijuana, like they're given the worst of the worst. Cause so that kind of makes sense. Like, I mean, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Like we're even targeted when it comes to marijuana. Cause see, I already knew the nicotine, the what they call it. They call it the methanol. I hate when I can't say the shit right. Methanol cigarettes. I know I'm saying it wrong. But you got non-meth and you got meth cigarettes. So the meth cigarettes are like the Newports, and when we smoke cigarettes, we smoke the worst cigarettes, right? With the meth in it, it makes it highly more addictive, harder to quit. And the non-meth cigarettes are normally used in white areas, and those are more easily you're more easily able to quit smoking the non-meth cigarettes. So here we go. Even with marijuana, like we're just abusing each other. Everything we give each other, it just seems like the worst. Okay. What else? So it says avoid tobacco wraps. or flavored blunt wraps. Y'all want y'all cherry and vanilla. It's saying that's the worst stuff to use, man. If using a bong, use clean glass and fresh water. Change water each session to reduce microbial risk. Smaller bowls, gentler hits. You don't need to hold smoke in. Most THC is absorbed within seconds. Oh, damn. Cooking y'all. Prefer dry herb vaporization over smoking for a toxin reduction step. If buying legally, scan the COA QR code and skim for total yeast, mold counts, aspergillus panel, pesticide panel, heavy metals. Don't mix with tobacco. Don't mix with tobacco. Don't mix with tobacco. But what do ninjas do? Ninjas mix with tobacco. Like, we got to stop being the worst of the worst when we do stuff, and be mindful of high THC products increasing tolerance. Mind, lungs, persistent cough, wheeze, chest tightness, or immunocompromised status are reasons to reconsider inhalation altogether. Bottom line, blunts add nicotine and extra tobacco toxins, generally worse for dependence and cardiopulmonary risk. Bongs remove some irritants and feel smoother, but they don't make smoking safe and can lead to bigger hits. Your sense that blunt users smoke more is consistent. Unbiased Ron, your sense that blunt users smoke more is consistent with evidence that cannabis plus tobacco co-use is linked to higher frequency and dependence. Dispensary flower is more regulated and safer on average than street flower because of testing and traceability, though labeling isn't perfect. So I had a hunch, and I wanted to research this a couple days, last week sometime. And as I'm talking in the background, the epiphany popped up. Like, hey, wait a minute. Let me do it now. Let me just share it with the chat. Because that was something I had my own, inquiring mind about that. But of course, I smoked before, but I had to keep a job. That's great because some people, I know friends that can't keep a job because they can't stop smoking. Learn something, y'all. Buck horse. Menthol. Thank you. I could not think of that shit at all. Menthol cigarettes. Thank you. Usually I'm on point, but I be slipping. Ron, I'm gonna shift you too. My FBA Instagram. I got you. Yeah, man. Yeah. So the menthol cigarettes, family, was the worst cigarettes to use. The harder to break addiction. The harder to quit. And of course, we use menthol. And white neighborhoods, they use non-menthol. We're just everything we pretty much do. We got to just think over and look at the alternative and say, "Damn, are we always using the worst of the worst?" So even think about your liquor you're using, like you're consuming. Like, is your liquor the worst? You feel me? Out of the choices, like why do it's almost like this? It's almost like if black people are doing it predominantly, it's probably no good. You take. And especially if you see other folks not like, nah, I don't do that. I don't drink that liquor. I don't drink that beer. It's probably something with that. But I hope I smoked for 20 years, been smoke free for 7 years. Salute to Marvin Rowell. Think long term, I used to, but lungs are sensitive B1. Yeah, I really, really just thought about the blunts. I was like, you know what? It's that. Yeah, I said, yo, it's no way that nicotine ain't. So, family, I thought a lot of blunt smokers are really just smoking blunts for the nicotine and not even the marijuana high. But they're in denial and they're putting marijuana in there to justify that they are smoking the blunt for the nicotine rather than the marijuana, the flower. So it looks like research backed that up. But family, that's what I do, family. Like, that's why I just like knowing so much, because my mind just be inquiring, like, why ninjas do blunt wraps with nicotine and white folks pretty much be doing bongs. I'm like, yeah, I bet you that nicotine is like a bitch. And you see it is. So anyway, family, I'm out here. I'm not gonna do an outro. Y'all already know the cash app. If y'all can support, you don't have to support today. You don't got to support when I'm live. You can support whenever you feel like it. I'm live, not live. You wake up feeling good. You think about your brother. The cash app is there. You feel me? So I'm gonna holler at you tomorrow morning. Peace, family. Love you guys. The lineage is all Is all we got, man. We all we got. It's the lineage. I'm gonna finish playing some. So I got two young people. I won't say tethers just yet. I got two younger people talking about diaspora wars, and it's gonna get cringy. So viewer discretion advised. Peace to the family. See y'all tomorrow morning. 40 ounce. Yeah. Fresh always. I guarantee you the 40. Great. Thanks for that. I guarantee you the 40 ounce is the worst beer to buy. I guarantee you. The Old English. I guarantee you. If I compare that to like what white folks drink, Budweiser, whatever, I guarantee you that's the worst drink. The Budweiser. Hi, family.